Welcome back, mates. Crypto Lovers Trading Group, Friday morning. Hope everybody's doing great. A little bit after 11 a.m. We got Bitcoin sitting at 33,557 going into Friday. Obviously, we know what happens on Friday. Hopefully, we're going to have a really great weekend. Okay, that's what really we're looking at. Bitcoin is kind of recovering a little bit. You can kind of see here what's kind of gone down the last 24 hours. Line in the sand. Okay. And so you got that little bit of coming off support again, and now we're seeing this move higher back into the 33,500 range, up from that 32,000 channel. Okay. Obviously, we are now one more week closer to the unlocking. Now, there has been a lot of talk. Okay, and so I want to explain this really quickly. And it doesn't matter who you follow, on social media, but with Grayscale and the unlocking of anywhere from 16,000 to 42,000 potential Bitcoin, there are two trains of thought here. There's the thought of, well, the Bitcoin isn't actually being sold when it's unlocked, and that's true. Okay. However, shareholders of the trust, GBTC, have the ability to sell shares, okay, in that. Okay, think of it as a mutual fund. When you sell a mutual fund, okay, that mutual fund has an NAV, which is kind of not really pertinent, okay? But when you sell it, the custodian of your mutual fund has to be able to provide you with the funding from the sale, correct? I think everybody understands that. If you got $10,000 in the mutual fund and you sell that, all of it, you should be getting a check or wire transfer for $10,000 minus fees and all that stuff. How does the custodian have that capacity to pay out, right? Well, they are in effect trading as well, right? They are selling stocks, and they are selling in the sense of these funds, and trusts. They have to be able to have that liquid power on hand and capital on hand for when someone sells, right? So physically, Bitcoin technically from the holders isn't being sold, okay? They're not just saying sell my Bitcoin. The trust has to sell assets in order to pay those individuals who may be selling shares. If anyone follows that, that's so in reality that's true. Both things can be true at the same time. Actual Bitcoins may not be sold by the actual stakeholders in GBTC when they liquidate or when they sell their shares in their trust. However, Grayscale may have to sell Bitcoin, and that's the logical thing. If a lot of people are seeking their money, rate of returns, that's what's going to drive the market lower, okay? Because they're going to have to sell, okay? So it's two trains of thoughts. It's basically the same thing, just how you approach it a little bit differently. But we're about a week away from that, okay? And so initially we looked at seeing a pump in Bitcoin going into that, okay? Whales and institutions wanting to get in and then get out and then get back in. This is what they've done now for the last 60 days, okay? How this is going to correlate with everything else is we can see here, we've got Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Ethereum down here. We can see these lines of correlation, okay? The lows basically follow suit. The lows of support follow suit to Bitcoin. Again, right here, we're flat. We get flat right here, okay, in all of them. And now we're rising here in the last 12 hours, okay? And you're seeing a a climb here closer, obviously correlated with Bitcoin in all of them. Now, Ethereum is Ethereum acts a little differently, and sometimes to extremes either way, as opposed to Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. But you could still play these, okay, to your advantage, all right, in terms of knowing, okay, if Bitcoin's going to go to 34,000 this weekend, it's 33,500. You're going to get a 25 to 30 point rise in Bitcoin Cash, a 15 point rise in Litecoin, a 100 point rise in Ethereum.